I heard something interesting on a podcast the other day, and it said that our brains are wired for pattern recognition. I latched onto that because I now feel that that's actually a good explanation of why some of us have challenges in embracing change. So stick around because we're about to uncover the secrets of pattern recognition and how it affects change. Pattern recognition is a fundamental cognitive process in humans, and it plays a crucial role in how we perceive, learn, and interact with the world. I'm going to give you 4 reasons of why this is true. Number one, our brains are wired to recognize and process patterns efficiently. This ability allows us to quickly make sense of the vast amount of information we encounter day to day. For example, when you see the letter CAT, your brain recognizes this as the word cat without having to analyze each letter individually. Number two, learning and adaptation. Pattern recognition is at the core of our learning process. From a young age, we learn by recognizing patterns in our environment. For instance, a child learns to associate the sounds of a dog barking with the presence of a dog, thus forming a pattern in their mind. Number three, predictive abilities. Pattern recognition allows us to make predictions about future events based on past patterns. For example, if you've always seen dark clouds and felt a drop in temperature before rain, you can predict rain when you observe these patterns in the sky and weather conditions in the future. And lastly, safety and survival. Early humans relied on pattern recognition for this. Recognizing patterns in nature like the behavior of predators or the changing seasons allowed them to make informed decisions to stay safe and also to find food. So, pattern recognition is a deeply ingrained and essential part of the human condition, enabling us to, again, navigate our world efficiently, learn from our experiences, and make predictions about the future. However, being aware of its potential, biases, and limitations is also crucial for critical thinking, decision making, even adapting and responding to change. Here's a deeper look at why pattern recognition can make change difficult. Reason number one, habituation. We as humans, we tend to become accustomed to patterns and routines. When we repeat certain behaviors or engage in familiar activities, our brains become comfortable with those patterns. Breaking away from these established routines can feel uncomfortable or even stressful because it disrupts the familiar pattern. Such is the nature of change, right? Number two, cognitive bias. Pattern recognition can lead to cognitive biases such as confirmation bias, where we seek out information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or patterns. And this can make it difficult to accept new information or perspectives that challenge our established patterns. Number three, patterns provide a sense of predictability and control. When we anticipate what will happen next based on past experiences, we feel more secure. Change often involves uncertainty and disruption, however, and when it comes to these predictable patterns, it now begins to create anxiety or resistance. Number four, effort and cognitive load. What do I mean by this one? When we recognize adapting and adapt to new patterns, it requires mental effort and cognitive resources. Our brains are wired to conserve energy, so we naturally prefer the path of least resistance. And change often requires breaking existing patterns and forming new ones, which can be mentally taxing. Number five, emotional attachment. We become emotionally attached to certain patterns, especially if they've provided comfort or positive experiences in the past. And letting go of these emotional attachments can be, well, emotionally challenging. And finally, number six, fear of the unknown. Patterns offer a sense of familiarity and safety. When we step into the unknown, it can trigger fear and anxiety, and our brains are wired to prioritize safety. and change often involves stepping into uncharted territory. Needless to say, one of the biggest challenges of pattern recognition is that our brains resist changing established patterns. When we try to break old habits or adopt new behaviors, our brain can resist because it prefers the comfort of the familiar. Our brain tends to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs and patterns, and this can hinder our ability to consider new ideas or perspectives, and thus making it difficult to change our minds. So, what does this teach us? Well, it teaches us to be aware that our brain may resist change even when it's necessary for growth or improvement. So recognizing this resistance and actively working to overcome it by setting clear goals and taking small, manageable steps toward change is the path forward. Don't automatically dismiss ideas that don't fit your existing patterns, and don't be afraid to embrace novelty and new experiences. My take is to simply balance the comfort of patterns and routine with the excitement of trying something new. Also recognize that not all situations can be solved by applying past patterns, and sometimes you need to adapt and learn new patterns. Paying attention to anomalies and exceptions that don't fit our patterns can hold valuable insights and reveal opportunities for growth. So while pattern recognition is a powerful cognitive tool, it can both aid and hinder our ability to change and adapt. And being aware of its strengths and limitations is essential for personal growth, effective decision making, and embracing change when necessary. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more insightful content, and ring that notification bell to stay updated. Remember, we all have the capacity to learn new patterns and adjust to change when we recognize the need for it. Overcoming resistance to change often involves understanding the underlying patterns that hold us back and consciously working to create new and adaptive patterns. Click on these links if you'd like to learn more about change. The most recent one I did was a live event focusing on how change management is changing. Till next time, high five.